It's a book about a local farmer here in Boone County, and his name's Billy Jack. He's a meat farmer, and this project, we want it to be like, we want kids to know more about agriculture.
Our farm is which I'll be 5th generation, our daughters will be 6th generation cow-calf operation. We run, right now we're down a little bit in numbers, but we're running about 300 head of mama cows.
I was doing an essay in Miss Benton's class over the local farmers in Harrison, and I couldn't really find much information on the local farmers. We interviewed the 5th and 6th graders at Harrison Middle School, and most of them, there's like 40% that didn't know anything about agriculture, and we thought that this was a huge problem.
And she just kept emailing me and saying, I can't find anything, there's no research, there's nothing out here. And that's exactly how Homegrown Stories was born. We came back and we realized there's a problem and we need to close that gap.
Homegrown Stories to me is the inroad to getting agriculture back in the classroom. It is the catalyst that can be used by a teacher to not only make the kids laugh and oh, here's a book about Farmer Jack and the puzzle, and then here's a lesson about agriculture, here's a lesson about with literacy, here's about science, and use all of those standards.
Like our generation, like as kids in the high school here, we really don't know much about agriculture except for the kids that are in ag, and we don't want the generation below us to be even worse, to where like no one knows anything about it. So we're just trying to like step up the agriculture knowledge.
Me and Miss Benton had actually worked together. She had asked me to come up to speak to her class. She understood that, you know, farming is what we do for a job, but our hearts go much broader than that. You know, I mean, you know, farmer advocacy, you know, try and help this next generation understand, you know, what's going on, what their opportunities are, what some of the problems are going to be. And then she called and said, hey, we've got another project we're looking at doing, right? And I'm like, whatever you need, you know, I mean, you know, that is the thing about Miss Benton is, you know, she's proactive. She's like the perfect teacher should be, right? I mean, she's not just writing, you know, a lesson plan. You know, she's out there trying to really get, you know, tangible ideas, you know, to help the kids.
Yes, it was a challenge to write about agriculture. I am familiar somewhat with agriculture, but not in the cattle business. When we interviewed Billy Jack the first time, I thought, oh my, I'm in over my head. He's extremely intelligent. He knows so much. And to kind of take what he said and fit it into something that I could understand to then take it to children was a big stretch for me.
I think a lot of people think they know what a farmer is, but there's so much more to it than people understand. Like, obviously when we're children, like when you think of a farmer, like Dad said, you think of a guy in overalls, piece of straw in their mouth, straw hat, talks like a redneck, sitting in front of a red barn.
A lot of the stuff that he said was like a bunch of sciencey stuff, but I learned a lot from what he was talking about, like how meat was made and how it's processed. There's so much to learn about farming.
No, I have no connection to agriculture. I don't even like live on a farm or anything like that. It was kind of hard because like I'm not really into farm things, so it was definitely a challenge to try and illustrate it. And I don't really know anything about farming, so I just kind of had to like go with what the book said and just try to like come up with my own things with the book. At first I was just kind of like drawing random pictures, and my mom was like, you're drawing pictures and you're not illustrating a book. And so I had to like try to make the pictures engaging.
So the title of the book is Farmer Jack and the Never-Ending Puzzle. And the way that all came about was we had a list of questions for Billy Jack because he was just being very science, and we wanted his heart. And we asked him, what's your favorite thing about the farm? And he said, every morning is a new puzzle to solve. And that really stuck out to us. I'm like, ooh, a new puzzle to solve every morning.
I'm hoping that we can reach as many children as possible and teach them what a farmer really is and what they really do. We are losing our farmers across the state. We've lost 11% of them since 2017, and that number is rapidly declining. So we need to get more people involved in agriculture and in farming.
I feel like reaching to a younger generation is definitely going to help. I really hope and that anyone can access them because it's really good information that I feel like a lot of kids need to know about.
And to help them understand, like Billy Jack said, that it's not, you know, there's so much more. It's a puzzle. There's so much more to farming. And what a better way to do that than to put the ideas in the heart of a child in a storybook.